Hi, boys and girls. This is a tutorial video for IXL Objective P24 about how to change improper fractions to mixed numbers and mixed numbers to improper fractions. So if you take a look up here at the top, an improper fraction is a fraction whose numerator is greater than the denominator. So 3 is greater than 2, 12 is greater than 7, 5 is greater than 3. So this means that we have 3 halves, 12 sevenths, and 5 thirds. And a mixed number is a whole number with a fraction, so 1 1/2. 2 2/3, 5 1/4. Those are called mixed numbers because they have two different types of numbers, a whole number and a fraction. Now, if you recall in class, we talked about all the different ways we could name a fraction. We could call this 3/3, 3/2, 3 divided by 2. This line means divided by. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're really going to learn how multiplication and division fit in with fractions. So if you look at this fraction right here, 16 thirds, that is an improper fraction. And how we can change this improper fraction into a mixed number is by using division. So if you look over here, this means 16 divided by 3. I have set that up, 16 divided by 3. How many groups of 3 go into 16? 5. 5 times 3 is 15, and then we have 1 left over. Well, instead of writing this as 5 with a remainder of 1, we're going to write it as a mixed number. We're going to say that it's 5 with 1/3 left over, 1/3. The reason we put a 3 on the bottom is because that is what we were dealing with. We were dealing with thirds. We want to know how many whole pieces and then what fraction would be left over if we have 16 thirds. Well, we would have 5 whole things with 1/3 left over. If you think about this like pizza, if we had 5 whole pizzas that were divided into 3 pieces each, because that's what our denominator is, and we had 16 thirds, we would have 5 whole pizzas and 1/3 of a pizza. So 16 thirds equals 5 1/3. We'll do that again over here with 53 tenths. So 53 divided by 10. So I set it up over here as a division problem, 53 divided by 10. How many groups of 10 go into 53? 5. Put the 5 up there. Did regular old division. 5 times 10 is 50. We subtract and we get 3, except instead of writing the remainder as R3, we write it as 3 tenths. And tenths is because that is the denominator that we started with. So we're going to keep that denominator the same. We were dealing with thirds over here, so thirds there. Over here, we're dealing with tenths. So we have 5 3 tenths. If we have 17/2 or 17 halves or 17 divided by 2, put the 17 inside the house, the 2 on the outside. How many groups of 7 go in? How many groups of 2 go into 17? 8. 8 times 2 is 16. Subtract and we have 1 left over, but instead of writing it as R1, remainder 1, we're going to write it as 1/2. We put the remainder over the divisor or over the original numerator. So 17 halves equals 8